Welcome to another episode of Worlds Collide. I'm Justin.
And I'm Mitch.
And today we're bringing you The Incredible Hulk. So for those that don't know, he's not always green.
No.
He actually started gray, I think.
Yeah, his very first appearance, he was actually drawn gray. Stan Lee wanted him gray, whereas Jack Kirby wanted him green. And after they published the first episode, Stan Lee's like, okay, I think green's better.
They were having far too much trouble contrasting him to each page of the background and making him not just look like he's blending into a wall or a rock. And I believe in the very first comic alone, he changed shades of gray multiple times throughout just that single comic. So they're like, gray's not working.
No.
So, why don't you give us a rundown of how today's episode is going to lay out?
So, Hulk is a character that's going to have a huge history. So we're not going to be able to cover all of Hulk in one episode. Much like Green Lantern, we couldn't do in one episode. Spider-Man, we couldn't do in one episode. Batman and Superman, we are going to have to revisit because there's just so much of these characters. Hulk is one of those characters.
Been around for too long. He's been involved in too much. And
too much of an important character.
Yeah. He's got a lot of important stories to tell. We've seen a little bit of his big debuts kind of on the cinematic screen. He hasn't gotten his star role yet in a standalone.
There's a reason for that, I think.
It's a hard character to cast as a standalone.
You would think. It's because of the lack of rogues gallery. Not that he doesn't have a rogues gallery.
He's a good one.
But his rogues gallery is not as colorful as Spider-Man's or Batman's.
And the problem with his rogues gallery is they tend to mirror him in the sense that tough bruisers. There's not a lot of intelligence outside of the leader and the battle at hand.
Yes.
And a lot of them are not forward thinkers in the sense, what do I do next?
Yeah.
Or how do I have a master plan? They're too busy trying to just whoop him then and now. And it's like, you can't fight the Hulk that way.
Yeah. So I figured today I wanted to go over his publication history a little bit. And also go over his origin, his throughout the years. Just to, like a brief idea of things that the Hulk has gone through over the years. And we'll get into deeper details in future episodes. Like, we're going to breeze over World War Hulk and Planet Hulk because that's going to be an episode on its own.
Either we'll do a combo of the two or they might each be a standalone.
No, they would definitely be a combo.
I think they're big.
Because they're so entwined together.
Right, because it's one's carrying into the next, essentially. Storylines entwined.
Yeah.
Kenny, we got KG Rose looking at his 9-month subscription here. He's got 6 months going strong with the streak.
Nice.
Thank you, KG.
Nice.
All right.
We should come up with some kind of rewards for subscribers.
Yeah, maybe they get to see our before and after as we're prepping and tearing down shenanigans. Maybe it'll be a little behind the scenes look at our subscribers only.
Yeah.
We'll get our brainstorm on that. We'll get some good ideas going for next week.
I think I should have taken a picture of myself when I was shaving today because I was just trimming my beard and whatnot and trying to get it trimmed properly. I decided to brush my hairs upwards to get it all
long. Did it?
To make it all puffy and everything. I should have taken a picture of that.
Mitch, your hair seems to have traveled to the bottom of your face. All right. Well, back to Hulk, I guess.
Yes.
Where do we begin?
Well, let's start with the publication history.
I was going to say back in your way long ago.
Yeah, so Hulk's first appearance was Hulk with the Incredible Hulk issue number 1 in 1962.
Yep.
So that puts him the same year that Spider-Man got his introduction, and a year after the Fantastic Four got their introduction. Because the Fantastic Four was 1961, Spider-Man and the Hulk were 1962. I think Iron Man was also in 1962.
Around that.
And Ant-Man would have been 1963, I think. So Hulk would have been before Ant-Man, I believe. I'll have to fact check that, but they're all roughly around between 61 and 63.
And this is going into what, our Silver Age?
Yes, this is Silver Age of comics.
Okay.
Because Marvel didn't really have a golden age of comics.
No.
Not really. Captain America, Namor.
I would classify them as golden age.
Yes. Yes, those two are golden age. Human Torch somewhat.
He's Golden Age, I would say.
Well, it's a
Made
different
his entrance.
It's a different Human Torch, but
yes.
But in either case, yeah, this is Silver Age of comics.
Okay.
Anything that happens between the creation of Barry Allen in 1953 to roughly the death of Gwen Stacy in the 1970s. That would be
Silver Age start and finish.
Roughly, yeah.
And it would vary between Marvel, DC, and character.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but anyways, first appearance, Incredible Hulk issue number 1 in 1962. His real name, so here's a funny story about his real name. So, when he was first created, he was just Dr. Bruce Banner, because Stanley liked his double alliteration. Peter Parker, Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
It makes it easier for him to Matt Murdock. Makes it easy for him to remember his characters that he creates. Well, in a issue not too far into the publication of the Hulk, instead of calling him Bruce Banner, he ended up calling him Bob Banner. And readers caught on to that. And started asking, like, I thought his name was Bruce. Bob Banner? I thought his name was Bruce. So then they retconned it and said his name is Robert Bruce Banner.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so Bruce is his middle name, Robert is his first name.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's Robert Bruce Banner.
Okay.
And I had heard something different about that, though. I had heard that the Robert Bruce Banner came from the TV series The Hulk with Lou Ferrigno. Apparently the producer, this is just hearsay, but I had heard the producers or directors, some of the corporate big shots, thought the name Bruce sounded too gay, so they decided to give him a more masculine name.
Bob.
So Robert. Yeah. Yeah, so for the show, his name was Robert Banner.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Because Lou starred as the Hulk during what timeline?
I wrote that down. The Lou Ferrigno was 19... Where did I write that?
70s, I believe?
Late 60s to early 70s.
Okay.
I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, right. In other media. 1978 to 1982, actually. So late 70s, early 80s. Yeah. And the phrase "Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry" came from that show.
I would imagine. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a Lou line.
Yeah. Which, if anybody who doesn't know who Lou Ferrigno is, watch any of the Hulk movies. Lou Ferrigno has showed up in every one of the Hulk movies, and the guy is still like he's a big dude. The guy is like, he's got to be in his 60s. Yeah. And the guy is jacked.
He's a big dude. He's a big dude.
Like, he could be a pro wrestler jacked.
Yeah, I thought he was. He wasn't a wrestler background?
No, he was never a pro
definitely
wrestler.
Believed that he could be.
Oh, definitely.
In his, Hulk's first comic, it was a standalone, his own line, or was...
Yep.
Okay.
But it didn't last long, though.
No, he only got, 3...
First series was canceled by issue number 6 in 1963. So, started in 1962, and his first run was canceled in 1963, so it only lasted a year.
I believe he reappeared in Fantastic Four.
Well, he did. From there, he made appearances in Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, until the Avengers issue number 1, because he was a founding member of the Avengers.
Right. But just after his disappearance, I believe that was his re-emergence into the comics. Yeah. They meshed him back up with
Fantastic Four.
The old family.
Yeah, which are the family that introduces everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it just makes sense. Yeah. If he wasn't doing well in his own, they gave it 6 runs. All right, let's see how he does in a pair up. Yeah. And then I believe he paired up with Wolverine.
No. Wolverine
was not a pair up. Sorry,
Wolverine's first appearance was in the Hulk comic.
Yes,
as an antagonist, he was a Hulk villain. Yes,
so they got to duke it out.
Yeah. So let's go back through here. So Robert Bruce Banner. In his origin, Bruce Banner got turned into a Hulk because. He was part of a project that was experimenting on a experimental gamma bomb, and Bruce's teenage friend Rick Jones was driving a Jeep for some reason, on the area where they were going to test the bomb, and Bruce ran and saved Rick by pushing him into like a ditch, but exposed him to the gamma bomb. Reason why I'm mentioning this right now is because Rick Jones is one of Bruce Banner's best friends. Yeah. And eventually becomes a gamma radium mutant himself. He becomes the A-bomb.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I can't... Now, whenever I'm reading anything about Rick Jones, I can't unhear Seth Green's voice. Oh, because in Hulk and Agents of Smash, A-bomb is voiced by Seth Green. Which I don't mind. I'm a big Seth Green fan.
Seth Green. He's good. He's a good character.
Yeah.
Good actor.
Yeah. I like Seth Green and everything he does. Yeah.
Now, funny thing about that, so he's a military scientist, right?
Yes.
So they're always doing this big experiment, obviously, on some cleared away military base.
Yeah.
And when that happens, when Rick gets caught out in the field, he tells one of the missile control people, like to hold off the launch, like stop, don't do it. And it was actually a Russian spy.
Yes.
So he was like, no, fuck it, and he hit the button.
Yeah.
So Bruce could have been saved from all this had they not been
more
infiltrated by a spy.
Yeah. Which all plays towards what create. I don't think this was... So his creation by Stan Lee was never the intention to be related to the Cold War.
No.
But his creation does make relevance to the Cold War with the threat of nuclear bombs, and it's the same thing with Godzilla. He pretty much has that same origin as Godzilla, really.
Kinda.
Yeah. But really, Stan Lee, when he created the Hulk, it was just he wanted to create a character that had that was based off of Frankenstein's monster and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, you wanted that split persona, that broken character.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who better? Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Genius scientist, skinny dude by day, and turns into this green monster ape that just gets raging strong.
Yeah. So, and originally when he became the Hulk, he was more of a brute.
Yes.
And then eventually, as the comics progressed, he settled more into the childlike, angry Hulk that we all know and love now.
And originally, he would only transform at night.
That's right.
Until...
I think it was an Ant-Man issue.
Well, he was working on a serum that made his powers subside.
Yes.
But it made him sick and weak. So what he did was change back and gave himself another serum that brought the Hulk back. Made him stronger. And after that point, he was then able to transform during the day. That broke his, werewolf curse, essentially.
Yeah. Which it does come back eventually, but I'll cover that later. Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah. So other members of Bruce Banner's circle would be his cousin Jennifer Susan Walters, who everybody knows as She-Hulk.
Yep.
You also have Betty Ross, his lifelong love life. And you also have his therapist, Doc Samson, who remains a part of his life throughout his entire publication as well.
Okay.
He becomes an irradiated superhero as well.
They tend to follow that theme.
Yeah.
Everyone gets gamma rays.
Yeah. And there's also Amadeus Cho, but Amadeus Cho isn't introduced until like the late 90s.
Why is that name so familiar?
Because he becomes a Hulk in a all different Marvel.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll cover that afterwards too.
What happens to Bruce?
We'll
get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, like I said, we're going to go over his publication history, give you guys an idea of different ways that they can go with the Hulk in the movies and whatnot.
Yeah, because I'm starting to tell they're leaning towards the old transition.
Yeah.
Right? They started the whole MCU with a lot of the bronze and silver.
Yeah.
I feel slowly they're transitioning to the golden age where they're retiring the olds. They're bringing in the young studs, the kids, the youths, the teens.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I like it because I don't know any of them.
Yeah. Well, I like them.
For that reason, I feel biased, in my opinion. So don't let my opinion change your, ability to go view these things. Go experience them for yourselves. Because I know I'll still see them. Right? The new MCU movie's coming out Phase 5, Phase 6 down the road. Those are the ones I'm worried about being the characters I don't even know who these guys are.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not Phase 4, not even Phase 5 probably.
Yeah.
But it's the future ones. And that I'm okay that that's where they're going.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, because like the next Thor movie is going to be female Thor.
I didn't know that was even a thing until I heard about it and had to start researching. And I go down the line and I'm like, oh my god, this is huge.
Yeah. So in his major villains, 3 villains to note that are his most constant villains. You have Leader, who is his arch nemesis.
Yes.
Above anybody else, his Green Goblin, his Lex Luthor is the leader.
And he's similar, exposed by gamma, mutated, super high intelligence.
Yeah.
And it's deformed him a little bit.
Yeah, he's got him like that cauliflower head.
Giant, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even like a carrot top. It's like huge.
Like a mushroom cloud.
Yes.
But his stick, whenever somebody wants to describe the leader to you, he is as intelligent as the Hulk is strong. So the Hulk is super strong, and the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. Well, the leader is infinitely intelligent. He can think at levels beyond any normal human being is capable of.
And Bruce is really, really smart.
Yes.
Like, really ridiculously smart. Like, when he was tested, he was off the scales.
Yes.
They're like, this test doesn't work on you. You're too smart.
Yeah. Bruce is in the top 10 smartest characters in Marvel.
Yeah. And the Hulk, he's an Omega.
Yes.
He's classified as an Omega, something with damn near unfathomable potential.
Yeah.
Right? Like, near limitless.
Yeah. Well, so I didn't write down feats of strength, but one feat of strength that he did, this one is fucking nuts. There was an earthquake, and Hulk dived into like this volcano thing and grabbed the Earth's tectonic plates and forced them back together again.
That's pretty nice.
Right?
A little warm down here, but chest fly. Oh, that felt good. Just imagine him sitting on there rapping it. Oh yeah, I gotta get out of here.
But yeah, that's crazy strength. I can't even fathom what levels of strength you need to be able to force
grab the earth and pull it back together.
Yeah. That's what he did.
It's pretty strong. Well, we've talked about World War Hulk when we talked about Earth's World Breaker.
Yeah, so in World War Hulk, we'll get to that in a second, but in World War Hulk, where Hulk was like World Breaker, angry Hulk, every step he took created earthquakes that shook all of New York.
Yeah, so like that just tells you kind of like the peak we've seen him at almost. Yes. So why don't we go over his abilities right now?
Yeah, well, he's got many abilities.
Yeah.
So super strength is among his powers, and all his powers are based on that strength.
The rage fueling the power, fueling the healing factor, fueling...
Well, yeah, so you've got the healing factor. His healing factor is on par with Wolverine, maybe even better than Wolverine's. He could tanks, like he take shots from tanks, and just
brush them off like rocks.
Exactly.
Pebbles hitting them, yeah.
Exactly. His super strength gives him super speed. That's one thing that people don't realize. They don't think the Hulk is fast, but he can outrun vehicles. He can outrun jets.
He can jump 100,000 miles per jump, like per leap. His legs are that strong.
As a matter of fact, he even once jumped so high that he broke Earth's orbit.
He was floating?
He jumped out of Earth's atmosphere. Yeah. Yeah.
I believe he's been punched out of Earth's atmosphere before, too.
Yes, he has. By Spider-Man. Yes.
He likes to float around space once in a while.
Yeah.
Whether or not he can breathe out there, I don't think.
To explain that Spider-Man thing, it was when Spider-Man was possessed by the Captain Universe, Mr. Universe. This cosmic being that gives one person these cosmic powers that makes Spider-Man strong enough to punch the Hulk into space.
Yes. Now, can he breathe in space?
No.
So that is one way to kill him.
Well, not really. He doesn't breathe in space.
But he doesn't...
Doesn't necessarily kill him.
No?
No. With his regeneration and, like, sure.
His lungs will shut down but repair themselves. So it'll be like he's flatlining, a consistent flatline.
Pretty much. Or he could probably stay in space for long periods of time. Maybe he'll eventually die in space, but it'll just take longer than a normal human being would.
Well, that's another thing. He has a much more extended lifeline, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because of his healing factor, gives him much, like...
Just like
I have no idea how old he'll get.
Just like Wolverine. Wolverine is over 100 years old.
Yeah. But Bruce isn't at that point yet because he came into his time later, I believe, than Wolverine. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think we've seen the extreme of Hulk.
No. We're gonna call blah blah blah. Oh, powers. He also have, because of his strength, he also has his
thunderclap.
Yeah, that is. I like I said, I didn't write down feats of strength. But his thunderclap is definitely something worth noting about. Like, he has done some amazing things with his thunderclap. Like, he's put out fires. He's pushed people like hundreds of feet away.
It can deafen you. It can burst a window. Like, it could. It's a freaking sound clap. Like,
it's a sonic boom. Is what it is.
Sonic boom.
He creates a sonic boom with his hands.
Alright, Kirby, go. Trying to think for powers. Is that it?
That's pretty much it. He gets other powers eventually, but that's essentially his powers.
Okay. Trying to think. Where's this branch to?
So in 1964, Jack Kirby received. So in 1964, so you know how I said that his series got canceled short in 1963. Mm-hmm. Well, in 1964, Jack Kirby received a letter from a college dormitory letting him know that the Hulk was chosen as its official mascot.
No way.
Yeah. So that's what helped Jack Kirby and Stan Lee realize that their target, the Hulk's target, is not the kids. Like Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, their audience was children. The Hulk's audience was college students. Yeah.
He's more of a bruiser.
Yeah. And he's got a more mature story.
Yes. The war is already an element, right? Where it's not in any of the other ones. It's a family. It's a teenage kid.
Yeah.
He's a war scientist dealing with nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
At that time, you got to remember the era of these comics.
That's right.
Very popular.
Yes.
Probably the first thing on everyone's lips. Have you heard about the war? The nukes? So it only makes sense.
Now, I think this was not mentioned anymore, but I personally think the reason why the Hulk was never as popular as the Hulk in Fantastic Four, in my own eyes, like confession to the audience, I didn't read a lot of Hulk. I never found the Hulk an interesting character. I was never a Hulk fan. I always felt like he was a little boring to me. But a lot of that has to do with his lackluster villains. Like Spider-Man has like the Lizard, the Vulture, Dr. Octopus. Hulk has the leader who is like super intelligent, but just this tiny little green guy with a broccoli for a head.
I find they're limited in scenery with the Hulk.
Yes.
All the events either take place in a cave,
or
a desert, or on a military base.
Yes.
And that is one of the biggest drawbacks I always found with the Hulk.
It's very unrelatable.
It's unrelatable and it's dry. It's boring. There's not a lot of interaction from society.
Yeah.
Like, you look at Peter Parker, he's walking down city streets. These are busy. What is it, New York? Man.
Yeah, he's New York. Yeah.
He's New York, busy-ass streets.
Queens.
There's crime all around him. Like, he's got to worry about his high school, his family. Like, there's just shit going on. He goes to catch the bus for school, and he's seeing burglaries. Okay? So it might be small-time crime. But there's action. There's action. There's things going on around you. Rather than, you're on the military base, it's sand. Oh, a bomb. Oh, a plane. Like, there's not a lot going on. And when it is going on, it's people are dying and explosions are happening. It goes from nothing to extreme.
Yeah.
They're able to weave it up and down a bit more with Fantastic Four.
Yes.
With Spider-Man. With anyone who can interact in a city atmosphere, there's a million more things to do.
Yeah. Yeah, there's more interaction, there's more story, there's more intrigue, there's more drama.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the leader, Hulk got his first appearance in 1962. The leader, his main arch nemesis, wasn't introduced until Tales to Astonish in number 62 in 1964, 2 years later.
No, his first villain was, I believe, the Gargoyle?
Probably. Yeah.
I believe that was his very first villain that he got to fight, the Gargoyle.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure I know who the Gargoyle is.
The Grey Gargoyle?
I think so.
The Grey Gargoyle has the ability to turn people into stone by touch.
Oh, he's an Iron Man villain, is he not?
And he's been an Iron Man villain. He's been an Ant-Man villain. He's been an Avengers villain.
I remember him in the Iron Man TV show back that I used to watch growing up. It was probably released in the 80s or something, but I watched it in the 90s on reruns.
Yeah.
He was a fucking hard villain. Because it's like, if he touches you, you're dead.
Yeah. Same with Ulysses Claw as well, because Ulysses Claw has been an Iron Man villain. He's been a Black Panther villain. He's been an Ant-Man villain.
We saw him in Ultron, right?
Avengers villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so, the Abomination, what was that?
He's basically like a Yeti type creature, right?
So the Abomination actually is just like the Hulk. He looks exactly like the Hulk. He was his enemy in the Edward Norton movie. So that was the Abomination. The Abomination is Hulk. He's actually twice as strong as the Hulk, but he retains his intelligence, which he's just a military soldier. He's not like hyper intelligent or anything like that, but he maintains his human intellect, whereas Bruce Banner turns into the Hulk.
He regresses a little bit.
That's right. But because of that, he also doesn't have Hulk's unlimited strength. So the Abomination is twice as strong as a Hulk on base. But then Hulk will eventually get stronger as the fight progresses.
If he lasts that long.
Yeah, exactly. Which, with his regeneration and toughness...
There's no reason why a Hulk won't last.
Exactly.
Now,
that's why the Hulk always beats the Abomination. But the Abomination didn't get his first appearance until 1967. And he's another one of Hulk's main villains.
Wow. What the hell was he riding on?
Exactly.
The Hulk had to survive on years of content with little to no villains.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's had villains, but none of them have been mainstays. Just mostly Ross. The military.
Is it Lieutenant Ross? Did I get the name
General
right?
Ross.
General Ross.
Yeah.
Who does he become again?
General Ross becomes Red Hulk.
That's what
spoilers.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Now, when does he get introduced? Because he's another one of the villains.
He's been Red Hulk doesn't get introduced until the 90s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, he flip-flops too, doesn't he? He's the odd anti-hero, but typically he's a villain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he was he becomes the leader of the Thunderbolts at one point.
That's
which is ironic, because the Thunderbolts were created before. I think General Ross is the one who started the Thunderbolts to begin with, before he became the Red Hulk.
Right, so it's General Ross.
Because his nickname is Thunderbolt. His name is General Thunderbolt Ross.
That's hilarious.
That's his nickname. So I'm pretty sure that's why he started the Thunderbolts.
Well, it only makes sense that, now I'll lead you.
Yeah. And then when he becomes the Red Hulk, then he becomes the leader of the Thunderbolts. Yeah. My favorite iteration of the Thunderbolts, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, because this iteration of the Thunderbolts has Red Hulk as the leader.
Okay.
You also have Ghost Rider.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Punisher.
Oh, I like it already.
Elektra.
Okay.
Deadpool.
Yep.
Venom. Agent Venom.
Oh, okay.
Who else joins that team? But right there, so far,
that's
a pretty OP team.
And I'm not a big Elektra fan, but she's all right.
Yeah,
but she's the weakest link.
Red Hulk, Ghost Rider, and Venom. That alone is OP as fuck.
Yeah.
But anyways, I digress. First appearance. So Abomination's first appearance wasn't until 1967. Then Wolverine got introduced in The Incredible Hulk in 1974 as an antagonist.
Right.
And I skipped way ahead. Apparently, they eventually killed Betty in 1998.
And Betty is his
love interest.
Yes.
Yeah.
the daughter of General Ross.
That's right.
And that's why he has a hard-on for him ever since.
That's right. But yeah, okay, so let's go into this origin. So we've talked about that. Childlike intelligence. Founding member of the Avengers, and also founding member of the Avengers. Even though he's been a founding member of the Avengers, he's also been an antagonist to the Avengers.
Well, it's only natural.
The third issue of the Avengers, he was actually the antagonist of the Avengers. And in the Ultimates universe, the Hulk is the formation of the Avengers in the comics is exactly how, well, not exactly, but roughly exactly like they did in the comics. It was Loki. The Avengers formed to face Loki in their first ever issue. But in the Ultimate universe, the first issue of the Ultimate, so in the Ultimate universe, they're not called the Ultimate Avengers, they're just called the Ultimates. And the formation of the Ultimates was to face against the Hulk. The Hulk was the major threat that brought everybody together to form the Avengers in the Ultimate Universe. Yes.
What was the cause?
I think it was ultimately like Loki, but he put a spell on the Hulk to make him go rage out.
So he was just like a loose cannon, and they had to basically rein him in.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, no. That wasn't it at all. I'm pretty sure. Well,
Loki's definitely done that to the Hulk.
Yes,
a few times,
but not in the Ultimates. In the Ultimates, so in the Ultimate universe, Hulk didn't become the Hulk because of a gamma bomb. Bruce Banner becomes the Hulk because he was trying to develop a super soldier serum to recreate the Captain America super soldier serum. And that serum backfired and turned him into the Hulk. He was using gamma radiation. It's still gamma radiation, but he was trying to use... No, he was trying to use the gamma radiation to recreate the super soldier serum, the Captain America super soldier serum.
Something went wrong and he turned evil of sorts?
Sort of, yeah. He developed that alternate ego. And the Hulk in the Ultimate Universe is much more brutal. He's actually a cannibal. He'll actually eat people. Yeah.
Why not though, right? When you're that big and you're that angry, I'm just gonna take a bite.
Yeah. And like the Ultimate Hulk, when he faced against the Ultimate Wolverine, he actually ripped Wolverine in half. Adamantium bones and all. It just ripped him in half and threw him in two different locations. And then Wolverine had to claw his way to his lower body in like the snowy mountains.
Oh my god. I think there's been another... Oh, okay, yeah. I'm thinking of the one story with Old Man Logan.
Yes.
And the Hulk.
Yes.
We'll tell that one later.
Yeah.
Because I know I've told that one before when we did Logan's.
Yes.
So maybe if you want to check out that little story about Hulk and Logan, it's in a different storyline. It's not canon.
No.
But it deals with a post-apocalyptic world of Old Man Logan running into Hulk in essentially a Hulk nation that he just runs like a tyrant.
Yeah.
With many children.
Yeah. Old Man Logan, the Hulk is really important in that, which he was not featured in the movie Logan, but that's because Old Man Logan is way weird. It's, how much I've said comics are fucking weird. Well, Old Man Logan is fucking weird.
It's pretty fucking weird.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why? You're just going to be like, why?
Right. So going back to Bruce's origin and whatnot, though. So when they first started, Bruce actually had a rival for Betty's affection in Glenn Talbot.
And I'm not sure who Glenn Talbot turns out to be.
Glenn Talbot turns out to be a dead man eventually.
Oh.
But he eventually does. So
got the girl.
So he does actually. In the 70s, Bruce and Betty almost marry, but she ends up marrying Glenn Talbot instead. And then Talbot dies in 91, I think. I'm just going to skip ahead real quick.
Talbot. I'm trying to remember if there's a Talbot in the movies. I can't freaking remember the whole.
There is definitely a Talbot in... I don't remember if it was in the movies or one of the cartoons. There's definitely a Talbot that's introduced.
The name sounds too familiar. I'm definitely sure that there's a Talbot in one of the movies too, I think.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But 91... No, 86. Oh, 80s. So 81 is when he died. So Bruce and Betty finally marry in 1986 following Glenn Talbot's death in 1981.
Damn. Yeah. Took him 5 years after that death to...
to actually hook up and get married, yeah. So, okay, so Rick Jones. So, in the 60s, in the late 60s, something happened where Hulk ended up getting transported to the future, but everybody thought that he died. Similar to what happened to Superman.
Right.
In the present time, when everybody thought the Hulk was dead, Rick Jones ended up spilling the beans that the Hulk was Bruce Banner. And he said this to Talbot, who ends up telling General Ross, and now General Ross has a hate on. That's where his hate of Bruce Banner came from, is when he found out that he is the Hulk, and it's all because of Rick Jones.
Fuck Rick.
Yeah.
Should have just let Rick get hit by the bomb too.
But speaking of alternate identities, Spider-Man became the first superhero to ever find out about the Hulk's true identity. When Spider-Man was trying to join the Avengers gave him one task to do this, and you can join the Avengers. They didn't think he could do it, but because they were trying to brush him off. But the task they gave him to do was to go find and bring in the Hulk. So Spider-Man went and found the Hulk, and when they fought, Spider-Man's not going to defeat the Hulk, but with his humor and his speed and his general niceness, he ends up wearing out the Hulk, and the Hulk reverted back to being Bruce Banner. And that's when Spider-Man found out that Bruce Banner was the Hulk, and then Spider-Man became the first superhero, or the first supered, to find out about Bruce Banner's secret, or the Hulk's secret identity.
But he didn't want to expose the identity.
No.
So he didn't take him back to the Avengers.
No.
And he didn't get to join.
That's right.
He's not a bitch.
Yeah. That's Spider-Man.
Yeah. He's like, fuck me.
Yeah.
I do the right thing and I get shafted every time.
Yeah. Well, it's the exact same scenario that happened to him with the lizard. Because he went off to Florida to go find this lizard, and he defeats the lizard, find out it's this Dr. Connors who's got a wife and kid, and he's actually a good person, who decides not to turn him in. And he
eats his kid later.
Yes.
Yes. Not such a great person.
No. In the 70s, he almost marries Betty, but she ends up marrying Glenn. So he ended up traveling to another dimension where he meets an empress who uses her powers to take control of him, but she ends up falling in love with him. Yeah, this is a random story, but the reason why I'm mentioning that is because I'm mentioning different things that different areas they can go, different paths they can go with the Hulk in future movies.
Maybe that was an Easter egg to Endgame when he was spirit form talking to Doctor Strange's mentor.
Maybe.
Well, maybe.
Founding member of the Defenders. So in the 70s, he was a founding member of the Defenders. Now the Defenders is probably the most OP team Marvel had come up with, because the Defenders is Doctor Strange, the Hulk, Silver Surfer, and Namor the Submariner.
Oh man, yeah, that's strong.
That's pretty OP team.
Now, at one point, I believe he goes against them.
Yeah, well, the Hulk does that.
He tends to go against his whole team at certain points in time.
Yeah.
And it's usually when he's raging out.
Yes.
And they just gotta all rein him in and be like, dude, chill.
Yeah.
You're drunk.
Pretty much. So that everything I talked about so far has all happened in the 70s. So now in the 80s, Bruce ended up getting control over the Hulk, but then he ends up losing that control all over again because of Nightmare. Nightmare is a Doctor Strange villain. Nightmare is like another demon from another dimension who is as powerful as long as human beings have nightmares.
Oh, so he's powerful.
Yes.
Forever.
Yes, exactly. So Nightmare ends up fucking with the Hulk. And as a matter of fact, there's one issue in the 2000s that leads to believe that there's a whole entire decade of stories of the Hulk that might have never happened. It was all in his head because of Nightmare.
What?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, like, how the hell do you know what's real?
Well, that's just it. Established that Bruce had... So it was in the 80s where he established that Bruce actually had mental issues before he became the Hulk.
Like schizophrenic, split persona.
Yeah, it was all because of his childhood, because he was abused by his father.
Sexually or
physically more than anything. Yeah, he was beaten up quite a bit actually by his dad.
Okay.
Yeah, so he suffered mental instabilities and split personality syndrome. And
he shut the angry man down.
That's exactly. Exactly.
Till one day he came out.
Yeah, until one day he got manifested by radiation.
I like it.
Yeah. So
it's a nice twist to his origin.
Yeah.
It makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. At one point, apparently Doc Samson ends up splitting the Hulk and Bruce Banner. And they became two separate people.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Then Banner was employed by the government to start the Hulkbusters, which was a government team dedicated to taking out the Hulk.
So he had to go hunt himself down.
Yeah. And Bruce and Betty finally marry in 1986 following Glenn Talbot's death. I already mentioned that. And Incredible Hulk number 323 in 1986, Bruce and Hulk merged back together again.
So how long does that mean he was apart? They were probably apart from each other for...
about 5 years, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, something like that.
They came out with enough comics to span 5 years worth of content with them not being together?
Yeah, possibly.
That's pretty impressive.
Maybe 2 or 3, yeah. But yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. But when they came back together, he became the Grey Hulk again. And he became... so when he became the Grey Hulk... He was once again only able to transform at night. Doesn't matter what state of emotion he was in.
Really?
Yeah. So here's the interesting part, though. So that was issue number 323 in 1986.
Okay.
It took until issue number 347, so 24 issues later, until the Joe Fixit persona got introduced. Joe Fixit has always been known as the Grey Hulk. So going back, let's step back a bit. So the first, like we said, the first issue, he was the Grey Hulk.
Okay.
And then in 1986, they brought back the Grey Hulk.
Yep.
But then that Grey Hulk became Mr. Fixit. Mr. Fixit is a enforcer for mafia in like Las Vegas. Yeah.
So the Grey Hulk became a permanent thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But where did the Green Hulk go?
He just regressed back inside of himself.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they came up with a different storyline that spun off as this Grey Enforcer Hulk?
Yeah, so for a little bit of the late 80s, early 90s, the Hulk was Mr. Fixit.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, you can even Google pictures of Mr. Fixit, and you see him like he's got a fedora on, he's got a suit on, and he looks like a. Yeah.
False alarm. Thought the dogs were fighting. So Mr. Fixit.
Yes. So yeah, he looks like a mafia fixer, a mafia enforcer.
I'm wondering when we're gonna get to see a glimpse of him.
I hope so.
Maybe on Disney.
Yeah.
Disney Plus. Maybe they'll do a Mr. Fixit show.
Yeah. Well, so as I'm going to go through these, you're going to start seeing where I'm trying to get to with the Hulk and whatnot. So, in 1991, he has. So this is actually where they start introducing. So in 91, they actually have a battle inside Bruce's mind. A battle of personalities. So you have the intelligent Bruce Banner. You have the brutish, kind of mean Mr. Fixit.
Okay.
And then you have the savage Hulk.
Okay.
And then a fourth personality got introduced, called the Guilt Hulk.
Who's the Guilt Hulk?
The Guilt Hulk is the Hulk that feels the weight of everything that he's done, like all the people that he's killed and all the destruction that he's made. And, yeah. So this 4-way battle, and then eventually Savage Hulk, Joe Fixit, and Bruce Banner end up defeating the Guild Hulk, and they end up fusing together to become a new personality. They combine all three, and then eventually personality merging as a new Hulk, a combination
of Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, pretty much. Then in 1993, in a story called Future Imperfect, Hulk ends up facing against Maestro. And Maestro is the Hulk from a alternate future. He's a tyrannical version of the Hulk from a future where most of the superheroes are dead, and he is the ruler of this world.
Oh shit! And he has to fight him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be a good story.
And we'll get back to Maestro in a bit.
All right, Bowser, lay down.
So I didn't say hi to Bowser when I came in. Hey Bowser, yes, I know I didn't come say hi. Yes.
Okay, give me it.
Yes.
All right, if you want to stay, lay down. Down. Lay down.
So in the 2000s, turns out Bruce Banner develops the Lou Gehrig's disease.
Oh.
Yeah. And because of this, he's actually losing the battle. So apparently, even though they had this merged personality ended up becoming a personality of its own. And when Bruce starts getting this Lou Gehrig's disease, this new formed personality that eventually became known as the Professor.
Okay.
Is Professor Hulk. In Avengers Endgame, he was Professor Hulk.
Right.
So this merged personality of Mr. Fix-It, Bruce Banner, and
Savage
Hulk became the Professor. And now the Professor is one of his personalities. Okay. So now he's actually having battles between Bruce Banner, Savage Hulk, Grey Hulk, or Mr. Joe Fix-It, and the Professor. So now he's got another personality inside of his brain. And Bruce Banner himself is losing the battle because of the Lou Gehrig's disease.
He's just losing his grip on everything.
Yeah. Merch Model became known as Professor. 2006. So then in 2006, and a bunch of stories happened with this multiple personality. In 2006 is when the Illuminati made the decision that the Hulk was too dangerous and shipped him into space. And this was the action that started World War Hulk, Planet Hulk and World War Hulk. So to do a brief overview of Planet Hulk and World War Hulk, I'm going to touch it very, very briefly.
Very brief.
So the general summary is Hulk gets shipped into space, gets angry, they were going to ship him to an uninhabited planet. Hulk got angry and smashed the ship, which diverted the ship to land on a different planet, a planet called Sakaar. There he falls in love with a woman. They get married and have 2 kids. The spaceship that sent Hulk to this planet ends up blowing up, destroying this planet, killing his wife. Hulk gets mad, finds his way back to Earth, and wages war against everybody on Earth. Because he blames them for giving him his wife and then killing his wife.
So there you have Planet Hulk.
Yes.
Because Hulk makes it his planet, basically. Yes. And then you have World Breaker Hulk when he's returned to Earth, just hell-bent on destruction.
That's right.
And that's probably the strongest we ever see him.
Yes.
And the Illuminati is Doctor Strange, Reed Richards, and a couple other big masterminds who basically pull strings and make things happen. Yeah, the Illuminati is a combination of the world's greatest minds. This happened after Civil War, so Xavier was originally a member of the Illuminati, but Xavier was not present for this. Okay. Yeah. But so the Illuminati is Namor the Submariner, Black Panther, Iron Man, Reed Richards, Xavier, Doctor Strange. I think that's about it. I think that's it. That's the 6. Yeah. And obviously Xavier wasn't there, so it was the 5 of them made the decision. Yeah. And they regret it. Yeah. But we'll talk more on that when we do our standalone episode on World Breaker / Planet Hulk. Yeah. So in 2011, you have Fear Itself. In the Fear Itself, we talked about a little bit when we talked about Juggernaut.
Fear itself was when the serpent showed up and threw out all these hammers that gave everybody these powers. Hulk ended up getting one of these powers, and he became Null, Breaker of Worlds. And in this, he ends up going up against Dracula.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, and then events happen. He ends up getting... Bruce Banner ends up taking control back from Null, and that's how they defeat Null and whatnot. But that's the story of Fear itself. After the events of Fear itself, Bruce goes to see Doctor Doom for help to separate himself from the Hulk. So what Doctor Doom does is that he ends up operating on Bruce Banner's brain, takes out the part Hulk's brain, takes out the part of Bruce Banner from Hulk's brain and puts it into a clone body of Bruce Banner. So now you have Hulk in Hulk body, and then you have Bruce Banner's brain inside of this clone of Bruce Banner. But this Bruce Banner ends up going insane, and he ends up wanting to missing the Hulk. He wanted to recreate the experiment and turn him into the Hulk. He ended up irradiating an entire tropical island, just trying to recreate this the experiment that turned him into the Hulk to begin with.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that didn't work well.
No.
I would imagine the Hulk's brain just regenerating the part missing of Banner's anyways.
No, but it doesn't.
Wow.
The way Doom did this, no, it doesn't.
Mm.
But Hulk ends up deciding to not try and save Bruce. Like this Bruce is destructive. He needs to die, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he ends up not saving Bruce. But then when this because this is a clone body of Bruce Banner, he didn't have the genetics to actually become the Hulk. So when the explosion went off, it just straight up killed Bruce Banner. His personality and this clone body.
Yes.
So now Bruce Banner is dead.
Wow.
But it turns out that something happened with this bomb, and it re-merged his consciousness with the Hulk body. So they do end up merging back together. So
I was gonna say that's gonna be awkward. Just having a Hulk who's like, I'm just Hulk.
Yeah. After that, there was another story. There's a couple more stories that happened, but there's a team that got put together specifically to take out the Hulk. They were specifically trained to take out the Hulk. And one of the
trained them?
Probably Hulk himself, probably Bruce Banner himself, or Tony Stark, or General Ross. Anyways, one of those guys, one of the snipers, ended up taking a shot, shooting Bruce Banner in the head in a very specific spot in his brain. That one part of his brain that he can actually get shot and not transform back into Hulk to save him. It caused brain damage into the Hulk. And to save him from this brain damage, Iron Man uses the Extremis serum to repair his brain. But something happened with Bruce Banner and this Extremis virus, the Extremis serum. And the Extremis serum ended up increasing Bruce's mental capacity. And Bruce ends up manipulating the Extremis serum inside of himself to unleash a new persona, the super intelligent Doc Green.
Doc Green?
Yes.
Professor Hulk.
Well, no, we've already had a Professor Hulk. This is Doc Green, even more intelligent than ever before.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And he's in Hulk form.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yes. But it's a whole new persona now. Because now there is a persona to Professor, but it's also a persona of Doc Green. It's a whole new persona yet again.
How are they going to show all these personas in the cinematic universe? It's just going to be very confusing.
And that's the point I was getting at. It's almost like Legion. Because Legion has all these different personalities. Well,
and Legion, the show is just fucked.
Yeah.
Have you watched season 3? Like, it
I
just
haven't watched season 2
It gets loonier and loonier.
I haven't watched season 2 yet. I want to because I really, really like Audrey Plaza.
It gets fucking loony.
Yeah. So in 2014, but I'm not done yet. So
Ooh, the list goes on.
In 2014, in Axis, AXIS, all capital, I don't know what it stands for. Scarlet Witch ends up causing various heroes, accidentally causing heroes and villains to experience a moral inversion. So kind of like the Star Trek alternate universe where like the good guys are bad guys are good.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch ends up causing this kind of thing.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So during this, Hulk ends up trying to prevent his teammates from executing the Red Skull. As he's trying to stop them from executing the Red Skull, Luke Cage ends up shoving Hulk aside. Pretty sure because of this inversion, they made the Hulk kind of like a wee kitten almost.
Okay.
So when Luke Cage just shoved him aside, he felt betrayed by his friends. And from the sorrow of the betrayal, it awakened a new persona. This persona is the bloodthirsty Clue, Kluh.
Okay.
And has been described as the Hulk's Hulk. So the Hulk is this evil persona of Bruce Banner, while Clue, I don't know how you pronounce Kluh.
Clue?
But this Clue is like the Hulk's Hulk. This
is
the
Hulk
person
backwards.
Oh yeah, it is. But this is the persona that Hulk repressed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, like the Hulk's nightmare.
Yeah.
Of himself.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No. So this is a new persona, but this one here, like I said, is bloodthirsty. This is
the Abomination, but worse.
Exactly. So yeah, and so they end up defeating, or that whole entire story wraps up. And then in 2015 is when they started All New, All Different Marvel. And in All New, All Different Marvel, now the Hulk is Amadeus Cho. So Amadeus Cho was introduced in the late 90s, and he had the moniker of the seventh most intelligent being on Earth.
I feel like his name's already been mentioned at some point in the MCU. Has he not?
In the MCU, I don't think so. But he is in the cartoon Ultimate Spider-Man. He is the Iron Spider. So in Ultimate Spider-Man, Spider-Man has his own spider team, and there's one that's in the Iron Spider armor, and that's Amadeus Cho.
Oh, in his Into the Spider-Verse movie?
Not in the movie.
Ah.
No, Amadeus Cho was not in the movie.
Okay.
But, so Amadeus Cho is so intelligent that... So there's this one scene where... what was happening? He was just minding his own business inside this restaurant, and for some reason these cops were trying to arrest him. And you could see how the artists were drawing this, and he was doing calculations of probabilities. And he calculated the best way for him to get out of this scenario is he ended up flicking this P that set up a series of events that ended up having like pie being thrown at the cop's face, and they ended up slipping and tripping, and allowed him to get away. But he's so intelligent that he could calculate probabilities to the point where he could actually manipulate the events to occur.
Going on that are currently.
Exactly.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's like Brainiac level.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was watching this video in Comics Explained, and in Comics Explained, he was talking about how like the three most intelligent people in Marvel Universe is Reed Richards, Doctor Doom, and Valeria Richards is actually on par with both Reed and Victor Von Doom.
And that's Valeria is Doom's daughter.
Valeria is Reed's daughter.
Reed's daughter.
That was named by Doom.
Right. That yes.
So those three are the three most intelligent beings in Marvel. And Amadeus Cho is a seventh. So there's only 4 people between those three and Amadeus Cho. So you got Tony Stark, you have Hank Pym,
Xavier, maybe?
Well, you also have the leader, right? Where does the leader fit in and all that, right? Dr. Octopus. He's also
and Bruce.
And Bruce Banner.
Peter.
Peter Parker is also there. I don't think Peter Parker is top 7, maybe top 10, but not top 7.
Okay.
But yeah, so Amadeus Cho, top 7 smartest persons on in Marvel.
That's pretty good.
And he ends up. So what happened is that how he became the Hulk is the Hulk ends up helping Iron Man by absorbing some kind of radiation, but it was some kind of unstable radiation, and Hulk couldn't contain it. And if he didn't do something with it, he could very well blow up an entire city.
Yeah.
So Amadeus Cho ends up grabbing this armor he had, and with this armor he ends up absorbing the gamma radiation from Hulk, and all that radiation he took it on himself, curing Bruce Banner. So Bruce Banner is no longer the Hulk. And,
whoa, it took all his gamma.
Yeah, and turned Amadeus Cho into the Hulk. Now, the funny thing about Amadeus Cho as a Hulk is Bruce Banner was abused when he was a kid. He had psychosis. He had a chip on his shoulder. Amadeus Cho doesn't have any of that. He had a good upbringing. He doesn't have a tragic backstory.
No.
So when he becomes a Hulk, he's not as angry as Bruce Banner. He doesn't have that anger. So he's much more of a show-off. It's a very different Hulk.
Huh. He can't be as strong then.
I don't think he can reach the same level.
No, he wouldn't be able to if he doesn't get as angry.
No.
He doesn't have that torment.
Yeah. But yeah, so, and that is, I think he is still the Hulk, but Bruce Banner does show up every once in a while. So Bruce Banner ends up dying after this, dead. And then he ends up coming back to life for certain stories, but ends up returning back to being dead.
What?
Yeah. I think in as recent as 2018, Bruce Banner is now brought back to life.
Comics are weird.
Comics are fucking weird. Nobody ever... That's why I always say, at the end of Spider-Man 2, when you see Doc Ock fall into the depths of the lake from saving Peter, they always kill off their villains in their movies. Well, my argument is you didn't actually see Doc Ock die. You saw him fade away into the water, but until you see a body, comic book rules, he's not actually dead.
And he's an octopus.
You
went home!
But yeah, so how he died, though, was in Civil War II. So in Civil War II, we talked about this when we did the episode on Carol Danvers. Carol Danvers is the cause of Civil War II.
Right. She
ends up teaming with that Eternal that can predict people from committing crimes.
Yeah. Minority Report.
Yeah, and he predicted the Hulk was going to go into a rampage and kill people.
A lot.
Yeah. So they end up going after Bruce Banner, and they found out that Bruce Banner has been trying experiments to turn himself back into the Hulk again, because that Bruce Banner is insane. As they're talking Bruce Banner down, he ends up getting a arrow to the heart and to the head by Hawkeye. And it turns out afterwards it was because Bruce Banner told Hawkeye to do that. Bruce Banner told Hawkeye that if he ever was trying to become the Hulk again, to put him out of his misery. So Hawkeye did.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was the death of Bruce. That was in 2016.
Oh, wow. That's pretty recent.
Yeah, very recent. So I think he just recently came back to life, but I'm pretty sure Amadeus Cho is still the Hulk.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see where they go next then in this MCU.
Yeah.
I want to know where they take Professor Hulk.
Yeah.
His sling. Yeah.
Well, as I said, so the reason why, ultimately, after doing my research on this, ultimately what I wanted to convey about this is the multiple personalities that the Hulk has, that Bruce Banner has. Bruce Banner suffers from not as many personalities as Legion, but close to. I mean, he's got 5-6 personalities. And I never got back to it, but Maestro, the Hulk from the alternate future, the Tyrant Hulk. The Doc Green, I believe, Doc Green was created by... Oh, yeah. Doc Green was created by the Extremis serum.
Yep.
So the Extremis serum was starting to phase... since it's just a serum, it will eventually run its course in his body. So the Extremis serum was eventually starting to run its course. And as it started to run its course, Doc Green started to fade, become less and less prevalent. And then, so personality ended up fading away.
Okay.
But it turned out to be a good thing because Doc Green predicted that his personality, that persona, Doc Green, that combination of super intelligence with the Hulk strength and whatnot, was going to be Maestro. That's right. So if he found a way to continue with this personality would have become Maestro.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like, you better let me go.
Yeah.
I'm going to be bad soon.
Yeah. Not as bad as Clue, but...
Now, I believe we got a glimpse at... I don't know if it would be Clue, but I would say the Guilty Hulk.
Probably.
In Ragnarok. When he refused to turn back into Banner, I think that was our glimpse at Guilty Hulk. Guilty Hulk.
Yeah. Yeah, Guilt Hulk.
I think that was him.
Yeah.
What else we got?
That's all
We're getting near the end.
That's all I got written down.
I thought so here. I'm trying to look at our board here, see if there's any standout ones for the Hulk. We got She-Hulk, but we'll cover her in later issues. Yeah. Luke Cage, Hero for Hire. He's done some team-ups with Iron Fist and Luke Cage, I believe. Has he not?
Who, Hulk?
Yeah.
Hulk's team with many people.
Yeah.
Recommendations. Check out, if you want to know more about Planet Hulk and World War Hulk, check out the animated movie Planet Hulk. It's actually really good. They made some changes in there, so when we do our episode on Planet Hulk and World War Hulk, we're going to talk about the animated movie as well. But just so you know, the animated movie, Hulk ends up fighting Beta Ray Bill, which is another version of Thor. In the comic, he ends up fighting Silver Surfer. That story remains pretty much intact, but instead of Beta Ray Bill, it's Silver Surfer.
I would way rather like to see him fight Silver.
Yeah, over Beta Ray Bill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he's fought Thor.
Yeah.
And Beta Ray Bill is pretty much Thor.
Well, that's what we got to see in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. Yeah. Another recommendation is the Hulk versus Wolverine, and Hulk versus Thor is the two verses that came out. Both are really good. Hulk versus Wolverine is actually has blood, whereas Hulk versus Thor didn't have blood. Hulk versus Wolverine has Deadpool. It has Omega Red, which is I'm a big fan of Omega Red. And that one was a really good one. They actually I'm pretty sure that one there you actually see the Hulk splitting Wolverine in two and throw him in two different directions.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. But in the I might actually prefer the Hulk versus Thor because you see there's more action in that one.
Less blood, more actual fighting.
Yes. Yeah, because in there like Hulk is up against like the Frost Giants.
Well, neither of them bleed either, you know what I mean? Like Wolverine, he'll bleed to all hell, but he'll just get his blood back.
Yeah.
Deadpool again, they'll both bleed, but they'll heal.
Yeah.
The Hulk, it's hard to make him bleed. Thor, it's hard to make him bleed.
Yeah.
Alright.
But other than that, I don't really have much more recommendations because check out if you want to check out there's the 1970s Hulk cartoon that has the infamous theme song that if you hear it once, it'll be stuck in your head forever.
I'm glad I've forgotten it.
Ain't he glamorous? Here, 1 second. Let me go.
Alright, get it going here.
Yeah.
Maybe Kenny will run mad or something while you find it.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, I remember this.
Say it again.
The ever-loving Hulk. Hulk.
Alright, we found it here.
You want me to play it again?
Yeah.
You're welcome. That'll be stuck in your head for the next couple of days.
Huh.
Ain't he on gamma rays? But yeah, so Hulk had his 1970s cartoon, very reminiscent to Spider-Man's cartoon. Yeah. Same animation style and everything, so it might even came out in the 60s or 70s. I'm not too sure when it came out. And then you have the Lou Ferrigno series that ran for a couple of years. That one was half decent. It's better than any other comic book character got during that time for live action shows.
Yeah. Just say the only other one I could think of would be Flash.
Or Batman. The Adam West Batman.
Yeah, you got a good point.
Yeah. So you have the Adam West Batman.
Far more corny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Lou Ferrigno show was pretty corny too. Yeah.
And then after that, we got Eric Bana. we should recreate this theme song.
If we actually know, well, I'm sure we could Google the lyrics.
Find us a Hulk suit, maybe we will.
Yeah.
Put him in a Hulk suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think here.
Then he's had like Hulk. Don't watch Hulk and the Agents of Smash. It's terrible.
We had his movies, right? We had Eric Bana in the first one, that was early 2000s, I want to say, late 90s.
Yeah, directed by Ang Lee, the same guy who directed Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Should stop there, bro.
Yeah. Well, let's just say, like, Ang Lee, he also did Brokeback Mountain. Ang Lee is a really good director when he's directing something of his own creation. Hulk was not his creation. I'm pretty sure he never wanted to do a comic book movie. I'm pretty sure he's never read a comic book.
Well, and then we got Edward Norton.
Yeah, and I enjoyed that movie. It's not the best movie. It's not as good as it could be, but
it was better than Eric Bana's.
Yes, he didn't fight a gigantic poodle.
It got stupid. He's fighting Hulk dogs and shit. And it was like, who's your villain? I didn't even know who the villain of.
It was his own dad.
Yeah, but I didn't know, like, is he a real villain?
No.
Like, what? There's some mutated gamma freak.
Yeah.
It's like, here, fight this guy.
Yeah. Here's a gamma irradiated Nick Nolte.
Oh, too much plastic surgery, Nick.
But yeah, so the Eric Bana one's terrible. The Edward Norton one is worth watching at least once.
It's better.
Especially the fight between Hulk and the Abomination before he became the Abomination. I'm blanking on the actor's name right now. I really like
Lie to Me. It's the star of Lie to Me. He's that... I believe he's an English actor.
Yeah, isn't he the guy from Incredible...
Can't think of his damn name.
Hulk. I really like the actor.
He's been in a bunch of things now. Who is he?
Tim Roth?
Tim Roth, thank you.
Tim Roth.
Yeah.
I believe he even played, what's his name? In Watchmen. Rorschach.
No, that's not Tim Roth.
That wasn't Tim Roth?
No.
Oh, you're right. That wasn't Tim Roth.
No, Tim Roth was in Moon. And Tim Roth was in the Ninja Turtles movie.
Tim Roth was in Reservoir Dogs.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
Yes, he was. But yeah, so the fight between Hulk and Tim Roth before he became the Abomination, when he was still just juiced up with the super soldier serum, when I saw that fight, I'm like, oh my god, this is as close to where we're going to get to Hulk versus Captain America until we actually got Hulk versus Captain America.
True.
Well, when I first saw that, I'm like, holy shit, we could actually do a Captain America and he would look like a fucking badass. And sure enough, years later we did, and I was right, he is a motherfucking badass. But yeah, it's worth watching at least once. It's not great, but it's not complete dog shit either.
No.
So.
And then going on from there, we got the Avengers.
Yeah, and my personal favorite Hulk is...
Mark Ruffalo.
Thank you.
I'm waiting.
Mark Ruffalo is my favorite Hulk.
Yeah, hands down. I'd say he brings the best performance.
Yeah, but so far he's the most believable, intelligent one. Not that I think that
Edward Norton or Eric Bana are stupid, but they did not portray the intelligence that Mark Ruffalo has been able to portray. They also weren't given the opportunities, I feel.
That's right.
But yeah, we'll chalk it up to watch Avengers.
Yeah. But as far as do I think they'll ever make another solo Hulk movie, I don't think so.
It's highly unlikely because Paramount still technically owns the rights to
Hulk, really?
Which is why he's never appeared in a standalone MCU movie. He's only allowed to be partnered in movies, but he can't have his own standalone because the standalone rights belong to Paramount.
Still with Paramount, which I'm perfectly fine with that. Because like I've mentioned,
he really doesn't need a standalone, because even if he did a standalone, you'd have to bring in one of his teammates to either subdue him, rein his ass in, or some random villain who you're like, well, I don't care.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. You don't care about any of Hulk's villains.
No, the leader is a good villain. But once again, the leader...
Would you be able to introduce him in one episode or one movie and have people know who he is, understand him, and care?
And think of him as a credible threat.
Right, because he's going to beat him at the end of the movie.
Exactly.
You're almost best off having a part 1, part 2 Hulk. Where Hulk fucking loses like Endgame at the beginning of 1. And then he comes back like the raging thunder that he is to save the day in 2. That would be the only way I could see them doing a Hulk.
Yeah.
Have it be Loki's involved and the leader's there and they're canoodling with each other to get him all ramped up, and you have the Avengers there, but it's a Hulk focus movie. So Hulk's doing all this shit and they gotta go capture him, rein him in, and then just as that's happening, boom, end. Movie 1. And then they gotta figure out who was behind all this shit in movie 2, Loki and leader. And that would be plausible.
Yeah.
I don't know if they could do a Hulk alone though.
I don't think so. I
wouldn't want to see it. I'm not interested. Maybe if they brought She-Hulk in.
Honestly, though, like way back in the day, I didn't think I'd want to see an Iron Man movie. I never thought Iron Man could do his own solo movie. And
Iron Man's one of my favorites. That movie, that was what started it all.
Yeah.
And when I remember seeing that one in theater, genuinely excited as scenes were opening up, and I'm like, that's so-and-so, and that opens the door for this, and then they might do that. And it's like, it was the world of possibilities forming with Iron Man, and it was like, they're doing it.
Yeah.
They're doing it. Hulk, I don't get that same excitement.
No. Thor is another one. I never thought that Thor could make a good standalone movie, but I was wrong about that, too.
I always knew Thor could, because they have the Norse mythology, and he's from another world, and there's just others.
Yeah.
He has enough.
Yeah.
Right? But, Iron Man did well, and Thor did well, and, everything else in between, they all did well.
So the point I'm making, though, is that I'm sure, given the right writers and the right directors, they could probably do a good standalone Hulk movie.
When you say standalone, does that mean no other heroes in it?
Yes. Well, maybe like a cameo of one other character, like Spider-Man movies has like Tony Stark showing up in the one movie and Nick Fury showing up in the second movie. They could do something like that with the Thor movie, just tie it in with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but primarily a Hulk movie.
Wolverine Hulk. I would want to see that movie.
I would definitely want to
do
see
that movie.
Do that movie.
Create a movie with the Hulk, Wolverine Hulk.
Yeah, do that.
Money, take it. Here you go.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Okay, so I think that covers this week's Hulk edition.
Yep.
Up on the roster for next week.
Well, second place. So when Solomon Grundy got second place.
All right, so we have another bruiser from the opposite side of the comic book universe.
Yes.
Going DC.
Yeah.
So it's a little different. Definitely a lot different. Different backstory. A lot of the same kind of similar powers, but
more inconsistent.
Yes.
Very inconsistent.
Ooh, very.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
We'll touch base upon all that next week, though. Yeah. So thank you for tuning in this week. This is episode 14 of season 2, and Episode 15 next week.
Yep.
Solomon Grundy.
Yeah. Stay safe. Stay healthy.
Keep your 6 foot distance.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week. Thanks
Cheers.
for tuning in.